Hurley with Timeless Trees, and we're going to talk about our two basic classes today. We have two basic classes, one on repotting and one on pruning and wiring. The first basic one is on repotting, as we said, and so this is a typical tree. This is a boxwood. We're going to kind of show you the progression that we go through in the class. This is one that was repotted about a year ago. Nobody wanted, and it's turned out to be a really good tree. So these are Japanese boxwoods. We also use junipers in the wintertime, ficuses in the summertime, and sometimes podocarpus. But the idea is to teach principles, not necessarily have a world-class tree. So we start off with raw material, and so this is the desired goal, is to end up with a tree that looks good, that you repotted yourself, and we just assisted with. So we'll start off and show you the raw material we start with. So this is a typical inexpensive boxwood you could buy at the local garden center. Typically what we start with. And whether we're doing the repotting class or the pruning and wiring one of the first things we do with the tree is we'll clean the interior so we can see the branches and the twigging and the trunk space. So we'll show you what that looks like. Another typical boxwood, same thing. We've just cleaned out the interior so you can see the branching and the trunking. And generally we want to see that so we can make good choices about which branches we're going to choose and keep and prune in the wire. So in the wiring class, we're going to give you a quick idea. The way we teach wiring is not on the tree itself, but on a practice tree. So I'll show you that. So this is one of our practice trees. I made up about 10 of them, and so I'll give you a quick example of how we teach wiring on a practice tree. So we'll start off with wiring the bottom branch. So we'll go out about 1.5 or 2 times the length, go 1.5 turns, and this is the most critical part. We've got to go up the trunk or around the trunk at least twice to serve as an anchor. Anchoring is critical because that's what keeps the branches, that's what makes them. We'll choose this branch, and you can see I'm holding with my left, wiring with my right. And always put a hook back like Boone taught us how to do, so you don't ever poke your eyes or yourself in the face. And then we'll go back and do the other one. You notice I'm wiring at about chest level, holding with my left, spinning with my right. This is aluminum wire 2.0, just what we teach for a beginning. And then we'll make the hook back there so you don't hurt yourself. So we use these practice trees to teach wiring up the trunk, branch to branch, a crotch wiring, and then also little branches to branches. And that's how people learn the easiest way, because there's no leaves and branches bending in all directions and stuff like that. So that's a tool we use to teach you how to wire. And then once we have it this wired, we take it all off, of course, and then we let the students practice wiring on their own trees. And I'll show you one of those. So this is a typical boxwood we got in one of the classes, and we wired it up. This was our demo tree. So you can see we've got some little stakes in here to show where the front of the tree is going to be. So I'm going to put the front of the tree to you, and when we get it finished, it'll be up in the air, kind of like that. So this one's wired from the branch up the trunk, and then a couple of branches are wired. So this one could be repotted now. But like I said, we have two different classes, one on wiring and pruning and one on repotting. So this was the wiring class. The repotting class, we take this, we just prune a little off the top, clean out the inside, prune a little off the top, and then we repot it. And we'll break for a second, and I'll show you how we do the pots and repot one. So in our repotting video, we start with just regular, nice Chinese pots, 10-inch and we teach you how to put in the screens and the tie downs. We use Z-clips, so they end up being looking like this. We use Z-clips to hold the things down like Boone has taught us, and we use tie downs. We can show you how to do that. And the reason we use tie downs is to make sure the tree stays immobile in the pot, because once you do that, it generates more feeder roots and it doesn't try to generate any anchor roots. So we'll go back to, like I said, we teach you how to pot, how to do a drainage layer, how to put the soil in and how to work the soil in amongst the roots, and then the desired result. About 6 months later, you ought to have something that looks like this. Either as a single trunk, that's our desired result, either as a single trunk or as a multi-trunk. This was a little clump, which a lot of the boxwoods, we try to find all single trunks, but this was a clump that we decided to do. And like I said, nobody wanted in the class, and it turned out to be one of the best trees. So, like I said, this is, once again, this is Hurley Johnson with Timeless Trees. We're discussing our 2 basic classes, one on repotting, called Basic 1, and then the other one is on pruning and wiring. And that's kind of what we cover. Both of them are $60 each. We do a video on each one of them, and then we teach you how to prune or how to wire and how to transplant. And with each one of them you get a tool, and the 2 tools with the repotting class, you get a brand new pair of scissors and a handout to go home and to use and during the class, but also to take home with you, and a handout to remind you what you did. And the pruning and wiring one, you get a brand new pair of wire cutters to use in the class and also take home with you to use wiring trees in the future. That's about it. Once again, I'd like to thank Tito and Mackenzie for helping me do this. Y'all have a great day, and sign up for a beginner class. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.